Hey, this is Mark Travis. Just wanted to show you some things I've been thinking about on the whiteboard. Hopefully you can see this pretty well. I wanted to call in something that's very critical to understanding what's in the middle of just about every business problem you're going to look at. So when you're thinking about product management, when you're thinking about the health of your organization, when you're thinking about how you measure your organization, the number one thing is the value that you provide to the customer. Intrinsically, extrinsically, it doesn't matter. And the way you get there is you have inputs that you take through your infrastructure and your overhead, and you produce a value to that customer for a profit or a loss. Hopefully it's a profit. If it's not, you better look at your business model. The business model is what describes this. And this business model is built out of value delivery. Your business model is changing from day to day. Your business model can change based on internal or external forces. And your value delivery is probably going to change based on the external and internal factors. So if you have new technologies that come along, like when mobile came along, changed the whole value dynamics of a lot of industries, obviously. AI is doing that right now. AI, big data, they're supporters of your value to your customer. And that's made up of, between your inputs, your infrastructure, your overhead, that loop, that value loop of the value to the customer is where big data fits. You may use Internet of Things to look at that big data. That may generate business intelligence, so you can kind of see where you're going. Maybe some predictive analytics to kind of see, the trend that you're going towards. Artificial intelligence. How can we make the process better? Can the machines make better decisions than we can based on the data? Do we have complete data? Master data management. Do we have the data coming from the right places, being updated at the right time? Is it complete? There's whole ethics behind just data completeness, because if you make decisions based on incomplete data, that's unethical in some cases. Product management is based on knowing this business model and this value you provide to the customer. Everything else is secondary. How do you build products to fit that value proposition? 80-20 rule, which I love. Basically, 4% of your customers, the bottom portion, cost you more than 50% of your overhead. It's amazing. Most people don't even look at that. Most product managers, they're so busy gathering customers to find that product market fit that once they find it, they don't go back and look at all the customers that aren't quite market fit anymore and cost a lot of money. You've got to figure out a way to get rid of those customers. Pass them off to a distributor. I don't know. You don't want to leave them unless you have to, unless they're costing you money. Mobile, open source, product management processes, these all support the business model. Branding and marketing, branding, your brand represents how well you execute your value to your customer. Marketing is how you get that message to other customers and your current customers. How are you providing that value to customers? I can provide that to new customers. That's marketing. How you execute that, net promoter score, things like that are based on brand execution. How well do you live up to what you claim to be your value proposition? So there's a lot of other things, but this is what I concentrate on. What's the value to the customer? What's that engine look like? How can we measure it? How can we get data to describe it? Use AI to make better, more efficient decisions. Scorecard it. Product management. How can you build better products? If you don't have a product management organization per se, how do you acquire the best products? How do you look at other organizations that you want to buy products from to support your value proposition engine? And how are you marketing that? How does all this support your marketing and branding execution efforts? So I was just working my way through this. I thought you'd be very interested in it, and thanks for joining.